Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy CD. Hey, today I decided to make a video on just piggyback on spiritual alignment. I don't know, for some of you, you may have had some emotional baggage going on with you, or you may consider it bad luck, or just things are just not adding up. No matter what you try to do, it doesn't make sense. You've already tried to talk to friends. You've more or less embraced the big one, and it's just not clicking. It just doesn't make sense. Well, sometimes you got to think outside the box. Um, there is avenues out there that you can actually take advantage of, and it all starts with making that sound decision. I made a decision actually today to go and seek a spiritual healer. Now, for some, you may think, oh, well, that's dark, that's uh, something that's really outside your realm. I want to tell you uh, that the person that you deal with, and it's out there on the internet, uh, what they're going to do is basically tell you about yourself. And then they'll more or less, there are certain things that they do, and it's going to benefit you all the way around. Now, I made my decision today. I had been going through some situations that, uh, how can I say this? I realized actually November that I had a heavy, heavy burden emotionally that I was dealing with. And I'm a good dude. I'm a good guy. But it just seemed like it just did not go away. Excuse me. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, now, were you depressed? Why didn't you seek counseling? Well, actually, that's what I did. But as I started to embrace my faith, and that's why I said that spiritual center is very important. The core foundation of who you are. There are certain things that you have to do to wipe away, just to get the gunk out the way, to just more or less have a good burden. I mean, a good foundation. Excuse me. I'm just tripping over my tongue. But as I went today, I made sure that I had the right mindset. And then when I got there, I wanted to hear what they had to say. It was very, very enlightening. Uh, when you go there, they will more or less tell you your pros and your cons. If you are, if you want to know why you keep running into the same type of people and relationships, they'll more or less tell you about that. Because depending on where your faith is, I'm not going to really steal their thunder, but you know how the saying goes, opposites attract. Well, guess what? You may be attracting the people that actually are just like you. So if there is a dark side of you that you hide behind closed doors, or really no one knows about, because no one really knows who you are unless you give them that representation of who that is. Well, these people more or less will put you on the path to reinforce, or put that in that spiritual toolbox, so that you can build off of it. Now, for my experience, it was really, really enlightening. I was very surprised on some of the findings that they found. And it's just one of those situations where you get to a crossroads in your life. Um, it also can be used for letting something that had been spiritually hindering you. So you have to more or less get real with yourself. If you're trying to build your spiritual faith, don't play with it. Be real. Be the person that you see in the mirror, because you can't lie to yourself. Now, the greatest trick that the devil ever played was more or less convincing our world that he does not. Some of you may have also experienced what we call a demonic attack. Well, Friday, I had mine. I tried to stay real prayed up, y'all. As I mentioned to you, the last 2 years was the most trying time of my life. I just did not understand. I was in a situation that really brought every emotion that I possibly could to the forefront. And even though my heart was pure, and as I mentioned, I'm a good guy. Sometimes, if you don't do the legwork in the beginning, you're just going to have an imbalance in the long run. So as I started to really start my walk, I started to get stronger in my faith. And by doing that, I started to see clear. For some, they may know the term removing the veil. It is very true. A lot of times when you're in relationships or commitments, we become jaded by whatever we're being focused on. At that time, I was really, really focused on my relationship with this person. However, it seemed like the more emphasis I placed on this person, the worse things got. Couldn't understand it. Just couldn't. Well, fast forward, we're not together. I started to pick this up, and I started to read. Matter of fact, today I was actually reading Proverbs. Now, I'm not one of those people that knows verses and anything, but I can kind of navigate through that. And I imagine as I continue, I'll really start to soak up the word. But I started going through this phase where I was starting to see messages in my interactions. May it be something that someone had said through other people, or I would turn TV on and there was something would more or less catch my attention. Not to the point because it was on TV, but what was being heard. As I'm going to do a video later on talking about discernment, as I mentioned, the more your faith strengthens, the more you get exposed to. And unfortunately, or fortunately, you've got to get real. When it comes to your faith, you can't play around. You've got to take a choice. You can't have either or. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Because what happens is you block your blessings, or on the negative side, your life starts to go into a holding pattern. And what happens with that is basically there's a lesson to be learned, and your life keeps going through situations. And, your higher power is saying, hey, when are you going to get it? When are you going to allow that light bulb to go off? What are you holding on to? Well, guess what, y'all? Good old devil, good old Satan, good old Lucifer. He does the same thing. As you already know, your higher power will give you what you need, not what you want, which can be very hard, but it's for the greater good. Well, Satan has the same power. He gives you what you want and not what you need. So guess what? It's an illusion. Anything not blessed, anointed, or touched will never prosper. You're setting yourself to get shortchanged. So you gotta get real sooner or later. Well, the time is almost running up, but I'm gonna throw this story out. This past Friday, I had a demonic attack transpire on me. I was at work, and I only had 2 hours to go, and I started to notice that I started to feel this little burden. Something was not sitting right. I didn't know what it was, and it really touched me. So I immediately commenced to start to pray. Now, I every morning I give thanks, and I stay connected throughout the day. It's just good for peace of mind. So the fast forward, I'm off work, I'm heading home, and I'm not even 20 minutes out from my residence, and all of a sudden I feel this serious this force just come over me like a weight, like a weight of some type, and it was like a emotional burden. So I commenced to start to praying. I want to keep my faculties on point, and it starts to get worse. It gets heavier. It's as if a great wrong had taken place. Just to give you a background, it's like, put it this way, it's like something that you loved had been taken away. Or if you saw your boyfriend with another person, that feeling that just, well, I tried to stay prayed up, and it just kept coming. It kept coming to the point that I was weeping. I was crying. I didn't understand it. And I was literally at the top of my lungs in my vehicle saying, please be with me. I do not know what is going on. Peace, be still. And all of a sudden, it stopped. That was my eye-opener, that not only am I on the right path, but that also told me that the spirits do not like what I'm doing. So the devil will take what you value, whatever it is, and use it to keep you weak. He doesn't want you to embrace your faith. He does not want that. He wants to keep you in bondage. If it's the love of your life, if it's your possessions, if it's anything that is tainted, that you obtained incorrectly, he's going to use it back on you, y'all. This is real. Now is the time to go ahead and get that dustpan out and start cleaning up your life. It's not too late. But you can't do that until you get real with yourself. And if you have something that is not right and you don't have joy, you better let it go, or you're going to end up paying for it. So needless to say, if you guys are at that basement level where you're trying to clear the clutter in your life, you're trying to make 2012 your breakout year, you might want to consider looking for a spiritual healer. They're out there. It's not expensive. A lot of them will use your major, your insurance, and just pay your copay. But it's a positive, and that's what you want, right? Isn't 2012 supposed to be the year that dreams come true for you? So what are you waiting on? Well, on that note, guys, thank you. I just wanted to share that. Stay prayed up. Be blessed. Until next time. Peace.